Yanqing Node News. The future frequency.
All right, devs, let's get real. We need to talk about the biggest cheat code you've ever been handed. And I'm not talking about some simple little buff here. No, we're talking full-blown God mode for indie game creation. This is your ultimate power-up. An AI-driven revolution is completely rewriting the rulebook for independent game makers. And today, we're going to unpack exactly what that means for you. And I really want you to let that sink in for a second. This isn't just another tech trend, a new plugin you download. The source material is crystal clear on this. This is a fundamental, historical shift. The ground is literally moving under our feet. So let's forget the high-level 30,000-foot view. We're about to get into the nitty-gritty of what this whole AI revolution actually means for your projects, your budget, and, your future. Okay, let's dive in. So first up, the good news. And trust me, it is ridiculously good news. We are right in the smack dab middle of a golden age. And the data? Well, it's pretty much screaming it from the rooftops. 52%. Get this, more than half the industry is already on this train. So if you've been thinking AI is something to, look into later, well, later is now. The party has already started and you are officially invited.
And just look at the playground you're in. This market is set to practically double in just 5 years. That is a massive, massive wave. And AI is like the supercharged surfboard that's going to let you ride it. This isn't just growth, people. It's an absolute explosion of opportunity.
Okay, so how do you actually tap into all this? Well, you start by realizing you're no longer a team of one. You just kind of hired a whole team of hyper-efficient, caffeine-fueled AI assistants that work 24/7. So let's meet the new crew. Remember spending weeks, maybe even months on sprite sheets? Or just blowing your entire budget on a single 3D model? Yeah, that's gone. With tools like Midjourney or Unity Muse, you can go from just a thought like a cyberpunk cat merchant to a game-ready asset in minutes. This is pure creative velocity. Let me say that again, because it's wild. An 88% reduction in art production time and cost. For a solo dev, that's not just an efficiency gain. That's the difference between your dream game being possible and it just staying a sketch in a notebook forever. Now, what's really fascinating here is how your role fundamentally changes. You're not just a code writer anymore. You're more like an editor, a director. You tell GitHub Copilot, hey, create a function for a player inventory, and it just does the heavy lifting. I mean, one developer built a complete multiplayer game in just 10 days using these tools. 10 days. That's just nuts.
And what about the audio department? Forget about dropping thousands on a composer. One developer on Reddit put it absolutely perfectly. For about $50 a month, AI gives him, and I quote, more music than I'll ever need. The quality's there, the variety's there, and your wallet stays happy. Okay. This all sounds amazing, right? Almost a little too amazing. You get superpowers, I get superpowers, everybody gets superpowers. So what's the catch?
Welcome to the Indie Hunger Games. Because the very same tools that empower you are also empowering tens of thousands of other developers. The barrier to entry we all knew, it just got vaporized. And the arena, it's getting very, very crowded.
And this right here, this chart illustrates the new reality perfectly. Last year, indies made up 99% of all game releases on Steam, but took home less than half of the money. The supply of games is just skyrocketing, but player attention and their wallets, that's a finite resource. So here's the crucial point. Your new challenges, your new boss fights, they aren't in the code editor anymore. They're out in the market. You have to fight through this insane hyper competition, rising marketing costs, and this legal minefield of copyright issues. Oh, and you still have to be the human in the loop, making sure everything's actually good, because AI can be a brilliant, but also very, very dumb assistant. So yeah, the game has changed, but it is not unwinnable. You just have to learn the new rules, because it's no longer just about making a great game. It's about building a smart business around that great game. This is the new playbook right here. Success now lives inside this triangle. You build a community first. You listen to what they're saying. Then you use AI as this rapid iteration engine to give them what they want, all while you guide the creative vision. It's a loop. community, AI, and you, the developer. And you've got to monetize smarter. AI isn't just a creation tool, it's a business intelligence tool. You have to start thinking like Fortnite or Candy Crush. Use AI to personalize store offers, dynamically price your items, maybe even create AI-generated content subscriptions. This isn't about being greedy, it's sophisticated strategy that can boost your revenue by 20 to 40%. All right, theory time is over. Let's make this actionable. Whether you're just starting out or you've been shipping games for years, here is your tactical guide for the next 12 months. If you're new to this, your mission is simple. Get fluent in 3 or 4 core AI tools. But, and this is a big but, don't forget the uniquely human skills. Great game design, community management, build your brand on social media while you build your game. And launch fast. Get a minimum viable product out the door and let your community and AI help you perfect it. Now, if you're a veteran, don't just throw out your entire workflow. Find your biggest bottleneck. Maybe it's creating environmental assets, and plug AI in right there. First, evolve your skills from being just a creator to being a creative director. And seriously, take a hard look at your business model. AI is opening up totally new revenue streams that just weren't possible before. So here's the bottom line. The source material suggests this year, 2025, might just be the best year in history to be an indie developer. The tools are incredibly powerful, the market is growing. But this window of opportunity, this kind of Wild West moment, it is closing, and it's closing fast. The early adopters are going to get a massive, massive advantage. So the only question left is the one right there on the screen. The power-up is in your hands. What will you build?
Welcome to Watch Yanqing Node News. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that's really reshaping the creative landscape for so many of you listening. We're talking about the AI-driven new ecosystem for independent game creation. Now, for independent producers like you, smart, savvy, already kind of knee-deep in this world, this isn't just another trend. People are calling it a potential golden age for solo devs and small teams. It promises incredible power. But, you know, like any golden age, there are definitely some new dragons lurking just around the corner.
Exactly. And our mission today is really to cut through all that hype, all the noise. We know you're busy. So think of this as your shortcut, your express lane, to understanding the actual data, the tech details, the key insights from the source material. We're going to unpack what this big shift really means for your creative process, for your business, and your ability to innovate. And hopefully do it in a way that's, lively and engaging. Respect your time.
Okay, let's unpack this then. When we talk about indie game development, it really does feel like we're at a historic turning point. It's a huge transformation. It feels like the ground is shifting. So what's the big picture? How big is this market change we're actually seeing?
Well, the numbers are pretty staggering, actually. This isn't just a few niche things anymore. The indie game market is projected to almost double in just 5 years. We're looking at growth from about $4.85 billion in 2025 to $9.55 billion by 2030. That's a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR of 14.54%, which is really solid. But what's maybe even more impressive is how fast people are adopting this stuff. Get this, 52% of game dev companies and 36% of individual developers are already using generative AI tools right now. This is what we mean by technical democratization. It's happening. It means basically that a single developer can now create games that genuinely compete with stuff from small, maybe even medium-sized studios.
Right, that phrase, technical democratization. If you're a solo dev listening, that must sound like a lightning bolt. It means that biggest barrier, right, resource limits, it's starting to crumble. So it's less about what you can do and more about what you dare to imagine. Okay, so if the market's changing that much, how's it affecting the actual tools, the stuff developers like you are using every day? What's the biggest change you're seeing in the development pipeline?
Right. Let's start with asset creation. That's historically been like a massive hurdle for indies. Think about it, getting high-quality art. It used to take hundreds of hours from specialist artists. Most indies just couldn't afford that. Now you've got AI tools, Midjourney, DLAE, Scenario, that let you generate game-ready 2D sprites, 3D models, textures, just from typing text prompts. Even big players like Unity, with their Muse suite, are building this right into the engine. It makes professional-looking visuals accessible even if you're, a non-artist developer.
Wow, non-artist developers making pro-level stuff. That really is democratizing. So what's the impact, like on actual development time and maybe more importantly, the cost for indie creators using these tools?
The impact is Yeah, staggering is the right word. AI-assisted asset creation. It can slash our production time by something like 60 to 80%, and costs cut by up to 80%.
Yeah.
That's just monumental for indie devs.
Yeah.
Always tight on budgets and deadlines. It lets you stretch those resources way further.
Those numbers are, oh yeah, monumental, just huge for indies. But, okay, if that art hurdle is lowered so much, does that create a different problem? Like, if everyone can generate amazing assets easily, how do you stop your game looking, well, generic? How do you keep a unique style?
That's a really crucial point, and it's something we definitely need to circle back to when we hit the challenges section. It's a real concern. But for now, let's keep going down the pipeline, yeah? It's not just art. Programming has seen a massive shift, too.
Yeah.
You've got AI assistants like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, Tab9. They're not just finishing your lines of code anymore. They can actually generate whole functional modules just based on you describing what you want in plain English.
That's wild. Like, no more staring at a blank screen trying to remember some obscure syntax. Are there any examples of developers really pushing this, taking it to the limit?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. There's this one case study, right? A developer, using these AI tools pretty heavily, managed to build an entire multiplayer online game, start to finish. They did it in just 10 days. And then they entered it into a contest with over 1,000 entries and ranked in the top 1%. That kind of speed, that kind of quality from one person. That was basically unthinkable just a short while ago.
10 days for a multiplayer game. Wow. I remember, back in the day getting a unique soundtrack. That was a huge pain. Often the first thing cut from an indie budget. And now you're saying, what, $50 a month gets you more music than you ever needed? That's a total paradigm shift.
It really is. Audio's always been tough for indies. Needs special skills, expensive gear usually. But these AI music tools, Suno, AI VA, 11 Labs, they're changing the game completely. Devs can now generate whole soundtracks just from text prompts, even like hour-long interactive tracks. Yeah. That Reddit user you mentioned, famously shared how they got all that music for $50 a month, something that would cost thousands traditionally for custom scores. It's really democratizing sound design, too.
Okay, so we've got these incredible individual tools changing each piece of the puzzle: asset creation, coding, audio. But what does it mean for, the overall efficiency of development? Is it just a small step, or are we talking about that quantum leap?
Well, it's definitely leaning towards quantum leap. Research is showing something like a 40 to 55% increase in overall productivity when AI assists development. And it's not just faster. It's about boosting quality and the potential for innovation at the same time. Like, think about rapid prototyping, iteration. Traditionally, waterfall model. It could take months just to get something playable. With AI tools, you can create testable versions in days, maybe even hours in some cases. Being able to iterate that fast massively cuts down your development risk. You can test ideas much quicker, pivot if needed. And procedural content generation, PCG, it's hit a whole new level. AI-driven PCG isn't just for basic terrain anymore. These modern systems can generate complex stories, dynamic character behaviors, even game mechanics that adapt to the player. This lets small teams, even solo devs, build game worlds with the kind of complexity and depth you used to only see in AAA titles.
That's an incredible thought. Giving one person the power to conjure up worlds on that scale. But, creating the world is one thing. Making sure it actually works smoothly, that's another story. What about QA, quality assurance, that often dreaded task of bug hunting?
Right, and that's another huge win for indies. AI testing tools like Model.test, for example, can simulate thousands of different player behaviors. They automatically find bugs, balance issues, stuff like that. This automation saves so much time, and it catches things human testers might just miss. So it really boosts the overall quality of your game before players even see it.
Okay, so if you're an independent producer listening to this, what does it all boil down to for you? It really sounds like superpowers are being handed out.
Huh. You're not that far off, actually. AI tools are giving indie devs these unprecedented creative powers. Historically, a full game needed a team, maybe 3 to 6 people. Programmers, artists, sound designers, level designers. Now, a single developer who's savvy with AI can potentially achieve what used to require that whole small team. And it dramatically lowers the skill barrier, too. AI tools are really democratizing the creation process. People who aren't programmers, they can build functional games using no-code platforms like BuildBox. People without art skills, they can generate professional-looking visuals. This is bringing a much more diverse range of creators into game development, which is just fantastic for innovation, for fresh ideas.
And I guess when those technical roadblocks are smaller, what really matters can come to the front, right? Frees up your brain space for the actual creative stuff.
That's exactly what many developers are reporting. It's the key takeaway for them. AI lets them focus on what truly matters. The core game experience, the story, the emotional impact, instead of getting bogged down in the technical weeds. It's about bringing your vision to life without being totally limited by your specific technical skills. And while AI definitely empowers solo devs, it's also creating new ways to collaborate. A lot of indies are taking this sort of strategic partner approach. They focus on what they do best and then use AI tools, maybe some external collaborators, to fill in the gaps.
Which leads to this really interesting human-AI collaboration idea. It's not AI replacing you, is it? It's more like AI as maybe a less intelligent colleague. Like it can do specific tasks really well if you guide it clearly, but it absolutely still needs human creativity, human judgment, quality control to make something truly great.
Precisely. And we're also seeing community-driven development really take off. Indies are using feedback from their community, combined with AI tools, to make rapid adjustments, rapid optimizations. It creates this powerful sort of triangle committed AI developer. Makes the whole process more responsive, more engaging for everyone.
So AI isn't just changing how games get made, it's changing how they make money, too. Let's shift gears a bit then. Let's talk business. How is this revolution shaking up monetization strategies for you?
Yeah, absolutely critical question. AI is definitely breathing new life into some traditional models. Take personalized monetization, for example. These strategies use AI to dynamically adjust things like in-game item prices or recommendations based on player behavior, their spending habits, their preferences.
Yeah.
And the research shows this isn't trivial. It can boost revenue by pretty significant 20 to 40%.
Yeah, you can almost feel it sometimes, right? Like Candy Crush offering you that specific deal just when you're stuck, or Fortnite tweaking its shop based on what you've bought or how you play. It feels kind of magical, but it's just smart AI learning about you.
Exactly. And related to that are dynamic pricing models. They allow for real-time price adjustments based on player engagement, maybe their spending capacity, even regional economics. The goal is to maximize income, sure, but also to offer options that feel more tailored and fair to each player, not just a flat price for everyone. But beyond just enhancing the old ways, the AI era is sparking completely new business models too. We're seeing things like AI-generated content subscriptions. So players pay a monthly fee, and in return, they get new levels, new characters, new storylines, all created by AI. This gives developers stable, recurring revenue, and it keeps the game feeling fresh for players. A constant stream of new stuff.
And then there are those community creation platform models, clearly taking a page from Roblox's book, where users don't just play, they actually create their own game content using AI tools provided by the developer. That creates this amazing self-sustaining content loop, right? And diverse income streams, too. It's like a content flywheel.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, there's meta layer monetization. It's becoming more sophisticated. This is about offering things like AI-driven, personalized cosmetics, social features, maybe ways to enhance progress that don't directly mess with the core gameplay balance.
Yeah.
But they significantly boost player engagement, keep people coming back, make the whole experience around the core game richer.
Okay, so we've got these super powerful tools, we've got new ways to make money. It almost sounds too good to be true, like some kind of get-rich-quick fantasy for indie devs. But what's the actual market reality look like out there? Are we all going to be millionaires by next Tuesday?
Well, probably not next Tuesday. But the indie game market is booming, no doubt about it. The prospects are genuinely brighter. In 2024, indie games made up, get this, 99% of all releases on Steam. That's incredible visibility. Now, revenue-wise, they only captured 48% of the total Steam revenue, but that's actually way up from 31% just the year before, in 2023. So it shows growing recognition, growing success, and a lot of that is likely thanks to AI helping indies boost their quality and production values. And don't forget platform diversification, that's huge, mobile platforms. They now account for 52% of all indie revenue, and that segment is growing at nearly 17% annually. Plus, if you're thinking globally, the Asia-Pacific region is the fastest-growing market, 16.4% CAGR. Huge opportunities there, especially with AI helping bridge localization gaps.
And AI makes it easier to go after specific niches too, doesn't it? You don't have to build something for absolutely everyone anymore.
Exactly right. Niche markets are thriving. Things like narrative-driven games, co-op multiplayer experiences, hybrid genres, they're really hot right now. Just as an example, early in 2025, there were 8 narrative-focused indie games that got over 1,000 reviews on Steam. That's double the number of horror games hitting that same mark. It really shows the power of targeting a specific, passionate audience, which AI tools definitely help you do more effectively.
So what can we learn from the indies who are already, nailing it? What's their secret sauce in this new AI-powered ecosystem?
Well, the success stories are really varied. You've got folks like Dilly Dally Games, reportedly making $240,000 a year, down to someone like Monster MMORPG, making maybe $2,400 a year. The key thing seems to be finding your right market niche and a business model that's actually sustainable for your specific project and scale. And using AI strategically is crucial. The top developers aren't just throwing every AI tool at the wall, they're picking the ones that really boost their core strengths, whether that's super fast prototyping, massive content generation, or maybe just streamlining their operations. And almost universally, a strong community is absolutely vital. AI tools can actually help here too, allowing for more frequent updates, quicker responses to feedback, and platforms like TikTok are becoming really essential for just getting seen.
Okay, so it's definitely exciting, but it's not all sunshine and AI-generated rainbows. What are the pitfalls? What are the challenges lurking out there that independent producers really need to watch out for?
All right, let's talk downsides. On the technical side, probably the biggest one is that AI output quality can be inconsistent. You, as the developer, need the skill to judge, to filter the good stuff from the bad. Often it means generating a lot more content than you actually use, just to find the gems. It's not always perfect first time.
And the thing that probably keeps lawyers up at night,
Yeah.
what about that legal minefield, copyright and all that?
Yeah, that's a huge one. Copyright and originality for AI-generated content. It's still very much a gray area legally. You have to be really careful about potential IP infringement. And also think about how you maintain your unique artistic style if you're relying heavily on AI. Plus, there's the risk of becoming too reliant on these tools, a kind of technology dependence risk. Could your core skills degrade? What happens if an AI service you depend on suddenly becomes unstable or way more expensive?
Makes sense. And with those lower barriers we talked about, the market must just be getting insanely crowded, right? Seems like everyone and their dog might be making a game now.
Absolutely. Competition is intensifying, without a doubt. You've got dozens, maybe hundreds of new games hitting Steam every single day, standing out, getting players. It's harder than ever. You need top-notch quality, yes, but also killer marketing and really strong community building. And compounding that, user acquisition costs are rising. They're up something like 40% since 2023. So finding players affordably takes real creativity, innovative marketing, focusing on organic growth. And then there's platform dependence risk. Most indies, let's face it, rely heavily on Steam, the App Store, maybe consoles. If those platforms change their rules, their algorithms, it can drastically hit your visibility overnight. So thinking about multi-platform strategies or even building direct sales channels becomes much more important to reduce that risk.
Okay, looking ahead then, crystal ball time. What's next for AI and indie games? And more importantly, what practical advice can we give you listening right now as you try to navigate all this?
Well, technology-wise, expect things to keep getting better faster. Rapid improvement in AI tool quality, speed, ease of use that's going to continue over the next, say, 2-3 years. We'll see smarter AI for game design itself, more natural ways to interact with these tools, making it feel more like genuine collaboration. Real-time AI integration is going to be big. Think dynamic difficulty that adjusts on the fly, content generated specifically for a player session, NPCs with truly intelligent adaptive behaviors. That'll create unique experiences for every single player. And cloud-based AI services will continue to lower the cost and technical barriers for using really high-performance AI. Market opportunities. Keep an eye on emerging platforms, VRR, maybe Web3 gaming. If you're using blockchain for things like true digital item ownership or decentralized game economies, getting in early there could offer big advantages. Also, vertical markets using game tech for education, health, corporate training that's going to grow, and global expansion. That's going to accelerate massively thanks to better AI translation and localization, making it easier to reach markets like Asia Pacific.
And alongside those trends, what about new ways to actually structure the business? New commercial models we might see?
We'll likely see more AI as a service, or AIS. Successful indies who develop really good, specialized AI tools might start offering those tools to other developers as a service, a whole new revenue stream. And those user-generated content platforms we mentioned, they'll become even more central, creating these self-fueling content ecosystems. Okay, practical advice time. If you're a new developer starting out, prioritize your skills. Yes, master maybe 3 or 4 core AI tools, one for code, one for assets, one for audio perhaps. But crucially, don't neglect your core human skills. Game design thinking, understanding user experience, UX, project management, those are still essential. And build your personal brand from day one when you launch your first project.
Follow the minimum viable product, or MVP principle. Use AI for super fast prototyping. Get something out there, and then iterate really quickly based on community feedback. Don't aim for perfection straight away. Aim for rapid validation and learning. And if you're an existing developer, integrate AI gradually. Don't feel you have to rip everything up and start again.
Pick one area that's currently a bottleneck, maybe asset creation, maybe testing, and start optimizing just that part with AI. Then expand from there. Think about optimizing your skill set too. Focus on becoming good at prompt engineering, telling the AI exactly what you want. Get good at quality control for AI outputs. And lean into your role as the creative director, guiding the AI. And definitely look at innovating your business model. Can AI help you enhance your current monetization? Or could you explore totally new things, like offering personalized services or those AI-generated content subscriptions?
Wow. Okay. So just to wrap up, the impact of AI on the indie game scene is, well, it's profound, it's comprehensive, it's lowering barriers, it's boosting efficiency like crazy, and it's creating entirely new opportunities for creators like you.
Exactly. And if there's one core message to take away, it's this. The future is human-AI collaboration. Success isn't really about choosing the human or the AI. It's about blending them perfectly. It's about using AI to amplify your unique creativity, your vision, letting you do more of what you love, what you're best at, and bringing those amazing game ideas to life.
You know, it really does feel like 2025 might genuinely be the best year ever to get into independent game development. The power, the reach, it's unprecedented. But that opportunity window, it probably won't stay wide open forever. This market is changing so fast. Getting in early, adapting now, that could give you a massive advantage. This really feels like the moment.
So yeah, embrace these AI tools. Use them actively. Innovate with your unique vision. And build those strong communities around your work. For every single one of you listening with those game development dreams, honestly, the time to act is right now.